Hey, I know just about everybody out there watching would love to hit the ball longer and straighter. And to do that, I think it would be helpful for you to have an understanding of what the wrists and forearms can and should do in a golf swing. Right after this, let's talk about it a little more in detail. Hey, for more great content, don't forget to go to hititlonger.com and check out my endorsed products in the pro shop there. All right, so the wrists and forearms can each perform 3 pairs of actions, or a total of 6 independent actions, and they're all used at some point during a golf swing, so you want to get an idea of what does what. So first, let's talk about pronation, supination. So here I am in a supinated position. Now watch when I pronate the forearm. Let's turn it palm up to palm down. You see what would happen is I'm going to advance the club 180 degrees around an arc, and the head ends up getting closer to the target. So that way, number one, the club face also turns over. It turns from straight up to straight down. If we look at it now from bending and I do the same thing, it would look like that. So the action of pronation would serve to propel the club around the circle, giving it club head speed, and also make it square up the club face as it goes into the ball. All right, now you have a supination, which would look like this. Right now my forearm's in a pronated position, and there is a supinated position. This would be helpful if I'm at the top of my swing here, and I start to supinate like this as I pivot over, and that will help the club shallow, the club shaft shallow, and get me into a good slot where I can really hit for power. All right, now we have a radial flexion. A radial flexion would look like this. If I cock the club upwards like this, and that will help us in the backswing at the point of helping us cock the right wrist. And then in the follow through, it's going to repeat that, and it's going to recock the wrist on this side of the body. So you have radial flexion. That's important kind of twice during the swing. All right, then we have an ulnar deviation, which would be that action, almost like a hammering action. There's ulnar deviation. That will serve us from the top of the swing as we're going to start to ulnar deviate or throw the angle away right from the top of the swing. This is what all the best players in the world do in combination with pivoting and turning through, but certainly the action of ulnar deviation starts back there. All right, our last two, we now have extension of the wrist. This way, that's extending the wrist. That would help me cock the wrist in the backswing and really get it in a good, powerful position at the top of the swing. And then we have a flexion, sometimes known as palmar flexion. I'm coming out of extension, sometimes known as dorsiflexion, into a palmar flexed or flexed position here. And you can see that could help to fling the club head through the impact zone. Let's just isolate just to that motion. Here is extension to flexion. We really like this one because it will really accelerate the club head without turning the blade unnecessarily. All right, so understanding these 6 actions will not only help you develop a really good, powerful golf swing, but will also help you diagnose yourself if anything starts to go wrong. You can always break wrist and forearm down into one of those 6 things. So give you an example. If I'm coming down and I'm too vertical, I would just simply need to add some supination into it. If I am not releasing it well, and I'm coming in and I'm holding it for too long and the face is tending to be open, well, I would just add some palmar flexion and dorsiflexion through the ball, and it would square the blade up. All right, so I hope learning those things will make you a much better coach for yourself. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Steve, and if I don't see you in the next video, I will see you longer and straighter down the fairway. Everybody, take care.